Our next step is to add our title and some text to our scrapbook page. So I already have a title that I want to use for this. I like these little eyes being stretched out wide again with my masked Batman over here. So I'm going to do a little piece about everyday heroes, and I'm going to use these guys as my little examples. So I'm going to go over here to the type tool. It's the easy one. It looks like a T, so I click on that. And I have all of these different fonts inside here. So you can choose what you want. I'll show you an easy way to scroll through them as well. But I'm just going to pick something to start with. And I'm going to click anywhere in here. On the top, it's going to show me what color I'm typing with, what size, and the name of the font. So I can always change that. So I'm going to start typing in Everyday Heroes. Now I can't see all of it, so I can just double click to highlight all of that. Another thing you can do is you can just go down here in your layers to the T. If you double click on the T, it highlights it for you. So I'm going to move that down so I can see what it is. It is too big, so again I'm going to double click that T, and I'm going to shrink this down something smaller. All right, so I went to 72. That might actually be too small for me, but I'm going to put it somewhere where you're going to see it right away. Remember, your title is something you want us to notice right away. So I could do this if I want a different size, double click that T. I might type in 100 and see what that looks like. That seems a little better. All right. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Good time to fix it. Heroes. All right, so I have my title in there. I have lots of space. I could put text in there as well and tell more about the people in my pictures if I need. Now there's some other things you can do with your type as well. I could move this down here and I could put in one of the students' names. So if I go to my type tool, I can also type going vertical if I choose to. So I could go here and I could type in George, and I could move that so I could put this R right here. So George is my everyday hero. And I could even change this to a different color so we could see it a little easier. So that might be something really fun for you to do, to kind of mix and match different kinds of fonts and put text in another way. One more thing that you can do, I'm just going to put the word Batman in here because it's easy. I'm going to just stick with this, and over here I'm going to type in Batman. But this time I'm going to change up over here. So I have two different things. The first one is just my character window, so I can decide how big the font is, the color. It's just kind of an easy way to go through things. It's the same as what's on top, so it's not that different. The other one is the warp tool. So if I click on my T and I go up here to the type, I can decide what I want this text to do. So maybe I want it to arc, and it will do that, and I can decide how much. Is it going to arc a little bit, or is it going to go all the way over? So maybe I like that because I'm going to wrap it around the side over here. Or if I want to do the other way. There's all kinds of really fun things to do in here. And it depends on how many words you have. The more words you have, the more it's going to do things with them. So I'm going to go back to the arc, and I'm going to bring that back just a little bit. There we go. And say OK. Now once you do this, your type is pretty much stuck that way. You can't go back and unwarp it really easily. You can go back in. It's just a lot more work. So I'd recommend that if you do it right the first time, or just kind of do a new one. I'm going to go here. Now, just like photos or anything else, I can transform this, and I can turn it around. I can change things here. So as I said, it's not really curved the right way. I'll show you what you can do. It's just not always as easy as you think it's going to be. So I can bend it a little bit more, but I'm going back and forth all the time. So you might want to start there, or you might want to warp it first, then start typing, and just get it in there. Enter. Oh, shoot. There we go. There we go. That's the way I want it. There we go. Okay, so I have lots of things in here. I might take some of these off so you can see what that is. I might go back in and change the color and say this would have been better in, I don't know, green or something, maybe bright white. You get to decide. But just remember, you need space so that you can see everything pretty clearly. So decide what it is you want. Add in your title, and then you're going to leave some space so you can add in some more things about this. So my Everyday Heroes George is kind of the same sort of thing. It's all kind of my title. So I really need some space down here to write what I call my text. You get both of those categories. So I would probably shrink this down to something much smaller, maybe like 36 point, oops, wrong layer. Let's do a new type layer. Let's try that. There we go. And I would change this down to 36. And then I can write some stuff about George, cool things he has done. All right, so I could tell more stuff in there for you, and I could find a place to put this. So now I'm starting to get more of my categories. So look through your list, see what else you're missing. Don't forget the side images to help decorate the space. You might put a border around the entire thing. Talk with your teacher, see what you have on there, and have fun with the last part.